What's going on, X-Brand Wrestling fans? It is I, your ultraviolent siren, your deathmatch succubus, and your favorite indie hype girl, Kakeface Karlee. And we're back with another episode of X-Brand Unleashed. Today, we have someone that is known as the Drunken Warrior. He is one of the men that is part of the Young Pillars. He is not only a staple within local wrestling, but Houston deathmatch in general. And wherever you're watching, I need to hear a sheesh because, ladies and gentlemen, we have Primo Cuhh.
Sheesh! Say Vatos, what's going on?
What
We're
is
here to party.
Hell yeah. How are you? It's so good to finally meet you, like, one on one.
Shoot, I'm doing good. I'm all healed up and all my wounds are healed up. I'm ready for more action. Shoot.
Hell yeah, that's what's up. So, I wanted to take the time to get to know you and have everyone else get to know you too, and a little bit of your backstory of how you got into the business and everything. So, first off, I wanted to ask, um, what made you get into wrestling in the first place? Like, how old were you when you got into wrestling?
Okay, so I was flipping through the channels. I was like 9 years old, and this is back whenever SmackDown was on My 20. And I was flipping through channels. It was Friday night, and I was just, flipping through channels, and I saw Rey Mysterio on the ring apron getting choked out by Batista. And I was just like, what's going on? What the heck? And this was I guess what you would call an instant replay of what happened on the previous night on not the previous night, but the previous pay per view, which was Bragging Rights 2009. So when I saw that moment and I just locked in, I was like, oh my gosh, Rey Mysterio is getting choked out by this dude, and I mean, like, it was just the full escape of that moment was like, dude, I need to do this. I want to do this. This is cool. Like, I wanted to know more why this was happening, or why are these two guys fighting, and ever since then I was just hooked.
I love that. So, would that be like for like the first people that really got you, like really drew you into wrestling? Would Rey Mysterio be one of them, or who are like some of the people that got
Well,
you really like
okay,
hooked?
so in that moment when I was 9, I did, I was hooked to it, but I grew up watching wrestling my whole life. I just never, knew anybody's name. I never really understood it until I got much older. But what really drew me in, when like the people who drew me into wrestling, I would say Jeff Hardy, Eddie Guerrero, um, Chris Jericho, Jushin Thunder Liger, and that's pretty much it. Like from those wrestlers, like I was drawn to them growing up, and it's shit's crazy to me.
I can definitely tell, like, with your style of wrestling that you really hone into, that you can see the influence from everyone you just mentioned. So, you said, when you first saw, Rey Mysterio and Batista, that was like that moment that you really wanted to like get into it. Was that aha moment of, okay, I want to be more than just a fan. I want to actually do this.
The actually do this part that came later. I say whenever I turned 15. So yeah, so that in that moment I became a fan of it in 2009, and but whenever I turned 15 years old, I knew this is something that I wanted to do. And for the rest of my life, I knew I wanted to become a professional wrestler, and I knew I wanted to go and entertain people the same way that I got entertained and introduced into wrestling. I wanted to give people that escape, that feeling, like that I was drawn to, what got me into it.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely tell too with how you captivate a crowd and everything. You can definitely tell that. So, you're 15, you decide, okay, this is what I want to do. When did you start training, and, who trained you?
I started training, I wanted to say, when I turned 20 years old, and who trained me was Lowrider. He wrestled on various promotions, AAA. Um, he's wrestled in New Japan Pro Wrestling. He's wrestled in Pakistan. He's wrestled for Loco Wrestling. This dude's been all over the world. But yeah, he somewhat picked me up and trained me, and saw an interest in me and gave me an opportunity.
That's amazing. So, um, what ended up what like was the development of your character of Primo Cuh? and the gimmick behind it. What made you decide your name?
Well, so originally I went by another name known as RTK 115, and that whole gimmick was just, I was based off of, I was copying COD Zombies, of Call of Duty Zombies. And so what made me transition into Primo Cuhh and change my name and whatnot was, I wanted to do something different. I wanted to spice shit up. And uh Hernandez, the from LAX, from TNA, what
Yeah.
and whatnot. He gave me my name Primo Cuhh, actually. So it was
Really?
kind of fun. It was kind of funny. He saw the name RTK and he was like, "Nah, I don't like that. You know what? I'm gonna call you Primo Cuhh." And so when he called me that, that stuck with me, and I was like, you know what? Let me look into this. Let me look more into my culture. What I can do to like bring that out and get people's attention and whatnot. So Hernandez is the one who gave me my name Primo Cuhh. And I know the guy got lots of heat, but you know what? Dude's a cool ass dude, man.
He he is a
Gen-
very talented dude. I mean, he's literally been everywhere too.
no, exactly. And it's crazy because I grew up watching all these guys. I mean, it's wild to me. Like now that I'm sharing the ring and, taking under taking under people's wings and whatnot and learning all this. So it's a real surreal moment for me.
I mean, that's incredible. Like the fact that you got your name from Hernandez, like I'm still like awestruck. That is like so amazing.
No, yeah.
So you ended up, over time becoming what you say a hybrid wrestler.
hmm
So what kind of got you into the more ultra violent side? Because that's mainly like the stuff that I've seen from you so far. And I mean,
Well,
even with your regular I mean, you're incredible. But I would love to know how you got into the ultra violent side.
Well, I was, like I said, I was 15 years old and I was experimenting, and I looked outside of what WWE was, and I started watching all these other promotions like Ring of Honor. I started catching up on CZW. Like I went back and I just searched all this. I mean, once you give me the internet, I'm looking for everything,
I
you
know
know.
that's right.
So I searched up a bunch of, deathmatch wrestling. Well, like, what was this? Why were people talking about this? I mean, I already knew about Extreme Rules and all that stuff, but I knew that there was more to it. You know, like from what was shown to me on TV from WWE and TNA and all that. So I was just like, you know what? Let me look this shit up. Ooh, and so what got me into the deathmatch side of wrestling and whatnot was Masada, Necro Butcher, guys like Sick Nick Mondo, Casanova Valentine. Like I grew up watching these dudes, man, and I was just like, wow, this shit's crazy to me. Like you can go and take wrestling, but not in the ring, but outside of a ring, or you can go and cut somebody up, but there's a way to do it. You know what I mean? To make it look
Yeah.
real and just a whole different vibe to it. It's like when I saw this stuff growing up, I was just like, man, this is crazy. I kept it away from people that I would already talk wrestling with because, I didn't think they knew about it, and everyone's taste is different.
Right.
So that pretty much like reeled me in and got me into what ultraviolet is.
Mhm. And I think, deathmatch really just, and ultra violence in general just really gets a lot of heat. And I definitely feel the same way. Like at first, like when I first got into it, I just kind of kept it hidden. Like, no, this is my little love, never mind. But, I love the fact that, you're really vocal about, the ultra violence and you're so good at it. I mean, even just with regular moves and everything you do, you're like perfection, but and you add the ultra violence on top of it, it's like chef's kiss.
Sheesh, big pop, big pop.
So, when did you get introduced to local wrestling?
Well, I want to say I was there from the very start, right when uh
Really?
right when Jaime and Pedro had made up Loco. I was there at the very beginning of it
And
and
when was
whatnot.
that, if you don't mind me asking?
Man, fuck. I want to say right after COVID had ended and like everybody and all the stores started opening back up, like literally right then and there. The moment I want to say 2021.
Okay.
sometime in 2021. If I'm not mistaken, I think late 2021, early 2022.
Okay.
So I helped out as staff. I was paying my dues, still am to this day. But I enjoyed the product that Loco had produced and whatnot. And I just was like, you know what? I told myself that I really want to be a part of this. And I felt like Jaime was the guy to go and talk to and, work with, like, cause you could just tell like he had a good head on his shoulders and a good vision about what he was trying to produce and what he was trying to come up with as with local wrestling.
100%. Even just from the shows I was at and, just looking at the product online, you can tell that Jaime has such a love for it, and being able to, broadcast it, it's awesome. And he always does such a fantastic job, and very, very cool stuff. So, do you have like within local wrestling, do you have any like favorite matches that you've done so far just within loco?
Shoot, man. For right now, I want to say one of my favorite matches that I've done in Loco had to be is like had to be against Alex Ray. I actually had fun in that match against Alex Ray. It was in Victoria, first time ever at the Rustic Ranch, and over 300 people pulled up, and we blew out the roof. It was
Oh,
a it was a fun match. Dude's a good worker for who he is and whatnot. Um, I think that would be one of my favorites for sure.
okay. So recently, obviously, we know that local wrestling did a collaboration with X Brand, and the first night, uh, you had a match with an X Brand homestay hardcore. How was it working with him? Did you enjoy it? Because I mean, you guys started off the night, and it was just such a firework performance between you two, and like the heat between Texas and New York and stuff like it was just goosebumps. So how was it working with hardcore?
Hardcore is a very sick individual. You could just tell like this dude's deranged, man. And I really knew I was up against some big competition whenever I was going up against him. And I knew if I didn't show out or at least start the show off right, that it wasn't gonna end well for me. So, like I already knew what he was about. I've studied this guy. And I said, let me attack first. Fuck it, dude. I'm just gonna go in because if not, I already know he's gonna get me, and oof. You know what I'm saying? Like I wasn't gonna let that happen. But overall, dude's a good dude, um, a good worker for sure. I would love to run it back with him again because I mean, how we left off is like it just you could tell he wasn't finished.
That's definitely for sure. Before I touch base on that, you mentioned about like studying your opponent and stuff like that. How important is it to study your opponent before you face them?
I mean, I say it's super important because you got to know their next move. Even though you might not know the next move, it's always good to prepare. There's always that saying, a lion doesn't stretch before attacking a gazelle, but I mean that's a false narrative. I believe that knowing your opponent and knowing what you're up against could definitely benefit you whenever you're in that ring.
100%. So, you said you would like to run it back with hardcore. Does that mean you might be able to come to the East Coast and see him and face him, or maybe you want him to come back
Sheesh.
to
I would
Houston?
love to come down to New York, fly up there, drive up there, it doesn't matter. I would love to come up there and go up against hardcore and anything he wants, man. Give him a round two.
Ooh, Justin, you're hearing this. You're hearing this.
Sheesh, X brand put me on. Come on. The young pillar, part of the young pillars is hungry, dog. Come on. Come on with it.
Hell yeah. So besides hardcore within X Brand Wrestling, you got a little sample of it, during that weekend in Houston. Is there anyone else in X Brand that you wouldn't mind facing? Maybe challenging for a title?
Sheesh. If Nico wants to run it, he could run it too.
Ooh. Oh my god. That match, I just with how both of you work. Jeez, if you can only tell underneath this long sleeve, I got some goosebumps. That would be like insane to
Sheesh.
see y'all go like toe to toe. That would be incredible. So, we're talking about matches that you want and everything. Are there some other, excuse me, some other dream matches that you would love to happen?
Shoot, man, there's so many options. Realistically, one of these days, I would love to get in the ring with Akira. I wanna show that I can hang with the big dogs. I want to show them that I can hang. I do this to not I do this to earn respect. You know what I mean? Because respect isn't just given. And I felt like if I can go up against someone who's made it to Japan, someone who's became the deathmatch BJW heavyweight ultraviolet fucking nasty core champion, I feel like that I can do the same. I feel like I can go up against Akira, and that's definitely a big dream match of mine, just to showcase that, hey, I can keep up with you, dude.
Oh God, to see both of your styles just so like mesh so fluidly, that would just literally like awestruck. That would be incredible to see you two. And I'm gonna manifest that for you because honestly, the sky is the limit for you. You have such a way of drawing in the crowd. Doesn't matter where you are, and who's chanting for you, who's not chanting for you, because at the end, everybody is chanting for you. You're amazing, great performer, great with drawing people in. So literally, the sky is the limit for you. I can see you fighting literally anybody.
Sheesh. Yeah.
So, besides with X brand and stuff, is there any other promotions you would love to be a part of, have a match in?
I mean, I don't look a lot throughout for every promotion, but I would like to step into Fourth Rope,
Ooh,
the promotion that Westside Gun runs. I would like to step in there and show Westside that how these boys from Texas really get down and dirty. You know what I mean? I want to show them that, you know, what I could do.
ooh, that that would be so cool to see you at Fourth Rope. Oh my god! And what about with like any other like more like death match promotions? Do you ever see yourself maybe like being within the chains? ICW or
Shoot, I would like to participate. I'd like to go on any deathmatch promotion if I'm able to. If any of that, I want to enter a tournament.
ooh, oh my gosh, Justin, we X Brand has a tournament, a little bit of Wicked 13.
Sheesh.
Oh my god, to see you within Wicked 13, you would definitely be one of my picks for sure. I mean, I love my family at X Brand, but oh my god, if you were to enter in that, like you would definitely be like one of my picks to take it because holy shit.
You hear that, X brand? It's not just me that wants to come out there. The whole group, the whole young pillars wants to pull up.
Oh my gosh. Speaking of, the young pillars, I mean, all of you are absolutely incredible and all of you had a chance to shine that weekend, with the collaboration with X Brand. Besides the four of you that are in there, do you feel like there might be anyone else that deserves to be like if there were like a fifth, maybe even a sixth pillar? Do you think there's anyone else that deserves to be a part of the young pillars? Or do you think it's just you four that it's like,
I think it's just us four, honestly,
okay.
because I feel like if there was a fifth member, that person would have to earn it. Because right now the four of us are holding down Texas as much as we can. We're holding down Loco. Nobody wanted to step up to the plate and really go and bleed and showcase like, hey, that this is also some that's part of wrestling too. And I said, fuck it, bro. I grew a pair and I said, let's do this. I'm gonna showcase that I can do this. I can become a hybrid. I can adapt to this style, that I can go and bleed not only that, but I can also put on a match, not just me too, but everybody in the group, like we felt like Texas needs to bleed again. And that's what we did our best to showcase deathmatch weekend, with X Brand and local wrestling. Like that was the whole goal, was to set the tone, to let everybody know that, hey, we're here and that we're gonna continue to do this, because not only are we the new faces of deathmatch, but we're here to prove a point, and we're here to say that we can hang with the wolves. Bring all the lions, bring all the wolves. We can hang with you. You know what I mean?
Hell yeah. I mean, and of course, shout out to Nino Extremo, Marty Two Fly, and Mickey Vargas as well, who are part of the Young Pillars. But I mean, you guys absolutely did that and make sure that everyone's like, hey, Texas, we got some shit here that for the ultra violence. And I think a lot of people need to watch out, because not only with how you have perfected the ultra violence, all of you, but with your ring ability. I mean, you guys are seriously second to none, as well as with being so entertaining. So everyone within the deathmatch scene needs to watch out with you guys for sure. So with deathmatch wrestling, what does it mean to you? What does deathmatch wrestling mean to you?
it To me, it means it's a sacred art style. It I love it so much because I'm able to be me. I'm able to express myself, This isn't no gimmick, this isn't no character. Like, here, go put on this and go dance. Like, no, it's none of that shit. It's where I can actually be myself and portray what I'm gonna do as if we're watching a horror movie. You know what I mean? Like, what I see on horror movies, I want to bring that to real. I want to bring that to life. I want to bring that to real life. You know what I mean? Like, it's not just an escape no more. This is something that I want to do now. And deathmatch wrestling and all is just a sacred art style that I have fallen in love with.
I think that's one thing that everyone has in common that loves deathmatch is I love how we've all, whether it be people that are fans or people that are actually doing it, they describe it as an art form because it's so true. I mean, with everything, just with how you set up weapons, how you are hitting your opponent, and even just like the aftercare of your opponent, making sure everyone's okay, and just the respect that everyone has for each other, even you know outside
No,
of
yeah.
Fabe and
Big shout
rivalries and
out
stuff like that.
Big shout out to all the weapon makers out here in Texas. Stevie, Roberto, Liz. Big shout out to the local weapon makers and X brand weapon makers as well. You guys
Yes.
are awesome.
So, with weapons, do you have any like favorite weapons that you like to use, or and are there ones that you're like, I do not want to touch that shit at all?
My favorite weapon, honestly, I love using is light tubes. I love those. Those are fucking awesome. I like the impact of it, but I hate the aftermath most of the time, depending on what or where it's at, the glass pieces. But yeah, um, a weapon that I really don't like. I haven't really came across that, but
Okay.
really haven't came across that. There's some stuff that I will take, some stuff that I won't take. It really all depends. I'm more of a psychology type of person. I like to put on like what makes sense and what doesn't. I like to build shit up to where it gives an audience a story, something that they can get behind and they can watch over and over again and not get bored of it.
I love that. Absolutely. That I love how you describe that. So within wrestling, everyone's little Mount Rushmores are different. I would love to know, Primo Cuhh, what is your wrestling Mount Rushmore and what is your deathmatch wrestling Mount Rushmore?
Okay. So like people I want to face off against or just like that I think are cool.
I guess just people you consider your like end all be all of both.
Okay. Well, here we go. So for the wrestling side of it, for sure, Jeff Hardy, Eddie Guerrero, Jushin Thunder Liger. Um, damn, this is gonna be hard. Let's see. Dun, 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 dun. Oh fuck it, we'll throw Rey Mysterio in there and Chris Jericho. So
Love
that's
that.
that. That's the wrestling side. Now the deathmatch wrestling side, we got Masada, we got Necro Butcher, we got Akira, and the last two. Fuck. Uh, man, Terry Funk and New Jack.
Ooh, that both that I love your list for both. Very, very good. Very eclectic list for both. So you had mentioned earlier that you want to make your death match is almost like like a horror movie come to life. And from what I've seen, with what you bring in to your matches and just that vibe, you can tell that you are a big fan of horror movies.
Oh yeah,
Especially with that Chucky doll that you bring in and everything, that's just so fucking cool. So,
yeah.
because I'm a horror fan myself, so I can't just ask you to pick one favorite, but what are some of your favorite horror movies?
Whew, this is gonna be badass. All right, we got Halloween 1978. We got Friday the 13th Part 6. Jason Lives. Child's Play 2. Jason X, because I mean Uber Jason was fire. Uh, now I want to say Hellraiser, the first one, and if I'm gonna leave it off with a good one, because we're gonna go for six, we're gonna go for Scream 3.
Ooh, I love that they're all pretty much like slasher horror films. I love that. That's amazing.
Yeah.
That's so cool. So, another random question here I like to ask everybody. What is your favorite snack? And if you have like a sweet and a savory snack, I would love to know both.
Okay. My favorite snack. Damn, that's a tough one because I eat everything. Um, whew, what do I freaking like the most? Oh, I like gummy bears. Gummy bears. Like anything that's gummy, that's like one of my faves for real.
Okay, I love that. Very cool. Well, thank you so much for doing this. Like, this has just been such a pleasure and getting to know you. You are just so fantastic to watch, and it's so great, like, knowing like the history of behind how you got into this and everything. So thank you so much for doing this. I would love to end this of you being
Shit.
able to plug yourself. Tell us where everyone can find you, like on social media, and what are some things coming up for you.
That's a bet. Well, thank you for having me and whatnot. It was awesome.
Of
Everybody on my socials are Primo Cuhh on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and even Twitter. It's literally at Primo Cuhh.
Okay, perfect. And of course, as for me, you can find me on TikTok as well, cakeface underscore Karlee, and on Instagram, cakeface underscore Karlee 2.0. And of course, make sure you're following X Brand on Facebook, YouTube, everywhere else, Instagram. And they have a show coming up December 6th for X Brand. It's the Night of Champions. So definitely make sure to check that out. And until next time, everybody. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Sheesh. Big pop.